The following is an address to the Chandigarh Rotary Club, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on October 18th, 1976, in Chandigarh, India.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President, I am very much thankful to you that you are eager to hear about what Krishna wants to speak. Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All Acharyas, Ramanujarya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarka, and latest Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and before that other Acharyas like Vyasdev, Narad, Asita, Devala, and Krishna says in the beginning of the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, how you can understand God without any doubt and incomplete. That is spoken by God Himself. Maya sakta mana prartha jugam jinjar madasre asangsayam samagrama jatha gasyasi tachino. My dear Partha, Arjuna, in order to know me, God, asamsa, without any doubt, and samagram, mean incompleteness, as you can know me, I am personally speaking to you. That means, if you want to know God, you can know Him when He explains Himself. Otherwise, you cannot speculate. God is unlimited and your speculative power is limited. So you cannot understand God without the mercy of God. That is the verdict of the Vedic literature. It is very easy to understand. Suppose here is a big man, rich man, learned man. You want to know about him. So, you cannot understand him by speculation. He may be of this standard, he may be like this, he may have so much money. You suggest, another friend suggests. In this way, the study of that particular man is not complete. But if the same person kindly speaks and explains about himself, that, sir, I am like this, my position is like this, I have got so much bank balance, that is the way. This is the way of understanding. It is called descending process. And there is another process which is called ascending process. In Sanskrit, it is called Aroha Pantha, Avaroha Pantha. Aroha Pantha you want to go to know about the sun planet or any other, just like they are trying. They are trying to go there, Mars planet, Moon planet, by rising on the sky by their aeroplanes, Sputniks, but they have not been able to understand what is the position of these planets. This is called Aroha Pantha. But if somebody comes from the planet and explains everything, then you know it very easily. Similarly, God has come to explain himself. You'll find in the Bhagavad Gita, this Bhagavad Gita is recorded in the greater Indian history, Mahabharata. Mahabharata means greater India or greater Bharat. Greater Bharat means the whole planet was formerly Bharatvarsha. Now it is cut into pieces. Recently we have got experience that Pakistan was also India. Now it is cut out. Similarly, this Bharat, Bharat means, Bharatvarsha means the Sapta Samudra, Sapta Dvipa. The Sapta Dvipa still accepted the North America, South America, Asia, Africa, Australia, in this way. There are Saptadvipa islands. So that is Bharat. Now it is cut off under different circumstances, and the capital was this New Delhi or Hastinapur, and the kings, emperors were the Pandavas family. So this is the history of greater India. That is called Mahabharata. So Mahabharata, in the Mahabharata, this Bhagavad Gita is set up, and the writer of Mahabharata is Vyasdev himself, and therefore the recorder of the speech, what Krishna said in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, is also Vyasdev. So Vyasdev, you'll find in the Bhagavad Gita, he says everywhere, Bhagavan Uvacha. He never says that I am writing. He says Bhagavan Uvacha. Asangsang samagram vam yatha jnasasi tatsit. It is very easy. If you simply concentrate your mind on Krishna, Samai Mana Krishna Padaravinda, as Maharaj Ambarish did, and many other great personalities did it. Arjun did. Now we are concerned with Arjun. And Krishna. Krishna is speaking, and Arjuna is hearing. So, what is the situation? The situation is that the Kurus and the Pandavas assembled together on the great battlefield. It is not battlefield, Kurukshetra, it is Dharmakhetra. Dharmakhetre Kurukshetre samaveta jujusava mamaka pandavasaiva kim apurvata sanjaya. This is the question by Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was the father of the Kurus, and the Pandavas were the 5 brothers, the sons of the younger brother of Dhritarashtra, Maharaj Pandu. Dhritarashtra was blind, born blind. Actually, he was to inherit the eldest son of the family, but on account of his blindness, the throne was given to his younger brother, Pandu. So, the sons of Pandu is known as Pandavas, and the sons of Dhritarashtra are known as Kurus or Dhritarashtra. So, after all politics, it is always very intriguing in all times. So Dhritarashtra was very sorry that he could not become the emperor. At least his son should be, because he was blind, that's all. But his sons are not blind. So naturally father wants. So this is the whole history of Mahabharata, intriguing politics, and ultimately there was fight between the 2 parties, Kurus and the Pandavas, to decide by logic, by morality and other things, everything failed. Then there was declaration of war. The Bhagavad Gita is spoken in that war field. Krishna was engaged as the chariot driver of the chariot of Arjuna. And while the chariot was brought in the battlefield between the 2 groups of soldiers, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Rathasthapayo me Uchchuda. Arjuna requested, my dear Krishna, Krishna was his friend, and Krishna was family-wise related, both with the Kurus and Pandavas. Krishna's father and the Pandavas' mother, they were real brother and sister. Since there are family relations, and Krishna therefore denied to take part in the actual fighting, and the whole world was divided. Some of them joined this party, some of them joined that party. Just like it actually happens when there is big war. Even nowadays, all the nations, they make a group. Some of them form one group, another. Some of them, they form another group. It's exactly the same thing was done. Now, Krishna was the charioteer, but when the chariot was brought in front of the 2 soldiers' party, Arjuna became little bit disturbed that I have to fight on the other side. They are my brothers, they are my nephews, they are my gurus, Dronacharya, and then my grandfather, Bhishmadev, So what kind of fight this is? That I have to fight with my friends and relatives and family members? So he hesitated. Krishna, what kind of fight this is? They are not my enemies, they are all family members. So I am not interested in this fight. So he practically decided not to fight. And Krishna said that, what is this? Nonsense. You are a military man and you have come to fight here, and you are my friend and my relative also, and if you decide not to fight, what people will say? This is the beginning. Then, after some arguments, Arjuna thought it wise that actually I am a military man and I have come to fight a decision that we shall fight. Now, what I am trying to do to avoid this fighting, actually it is not my business. I am deviating from my duty. Therefore, find out this Karpanna dosa, find out.
Karpanya dosho pahatas papava Vichchavishwan dharma sammudhachita Yachreyasyan nishchitan gruhitan me Shishyasteham shadhiman tvan prabandam.
Translation.
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple, and the soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Yes. So Arjuna understood his weakness, his weak point. Therefore, he said to Krishna that Karpanna dosa apahata svabhava. Karpanna, this word comes from Kripan. Kripan, this word is known practically everyone. Kripanata means miser. A person who has got enough resources, but if he does not use it properly, he is called a kripan, miser. And the opposite word of kripan is udar or liberal. So there are two words, kripana. So Arjuna said, Karpanna dosa. I know I can fight. I am quite competent military person, but I am not using my resources. Therefore, it is Karpanna dosa, apahata svabhava. Svabhava means naturally a military man, a Kshatriya, is very bold enough to fight. That is one of the qualifications of a military man. Juddhe cha palayanam. Sodja, bija, teja, juddhe cha palayanam. These are the symptoms of Kshatriya. You never go away from fighting. When there is challenge, fighting, a Kshatriya will never deny. Juddhe cha palayanam. So when Kshatriya, especially a Kshatriya like Arjuna, is the best military man of that age, and he was denying to fight, so he could understand his weakness. He said, Karpanna dosa apahata svabhava. Naturally I should fight, but on account of my crippled decision or miserly decision. I am perplexed. So, Krishna, he knew Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, I am surrendering unto you. What is that? Last two lines.
Shishyasteham shadhiman.
Shishyasteham aham te shishya. I just become your disciple. And you just educate me. Please enlighten me. This is the position. Before that, Krishna and Arjuna, they were talking like friends. Friends means argument. We can go on arguing for days together, but there is no decision. That is friendly talk. But when there is talk between a master and disciple, there is no question of arguing. The disciple has to accept what is ordered by the master. So, Krishna is accepted Guru or the spiritual master, and Arjuna says, Shishyasteham sadhiman prapanna. Prapanna means that I am surrendered to you. I don't think myself on the equal level with you. The spiritual master and the disciple, they cannot be on the equal level. Therefore, the spiritual master is called Guru. Guru means heavy. Just like in the scale, we put something this side, something that side. The thing which is weighty, that goes down. Similarly, Guru is supposed to be weighty than the Shishya. So Krishna begins to speak when he is accepted as Guru. Otherwise, he does not speak. Now our subject matter is, let Krishna speak for himself. So we have to accept Krishna as the supreme authority, then his speaking will be useful for us. Otherwise, if we think that Krishna is on the equal level, he is also a historical personality, and his education and my education equal, and so on. So long we think like that, then we cannot hear or understand Krishna. But if we take the position of Arjuna, Shishyasteham sadhiman prapannam, then Krishna will speak to the disciple like Arjuna, and everything will be clear. So the point is, Bhagavad Gita is well known all over the world. Not now, because we are preaching Bhagavad Gita through this Krishna consciousness movement, and millions of people are interested. We have got so many books. The calculation is already submitted. They are accepting this Krishna consciousness movement through literature, and big scholars, professors, librarians, they are purchasing our books very nicely. The total collection daily is 5 to 6 lakhs of rupees. So now this Krishna movement is being appreciated all over the world. Unfortunately, although Bhagavad Gita is spoken in this land of Bharatvarsha, near your Chandigarh, the Kurukshetra, we do not allow Krishna to speak. This is our misfortune. Krishna spoke these words of Bhagavad Gita. Many scholars, many so-called saintly persons, they have misinterpreted the words of Bhagavad Gita. They did not allow to speak Krishna. They wanted to speak on behalf of Krishna. Not on behalf of Krishna, I am sorry. They wanted to speak about themselves. If one speaks on behalf of Krishna, he is Guru. But if one manufactures some idea from the words of Krishna by misinterpretation and does not allow Krishna to speak, it is a great dangerous position. That has become actually the fact in India. Otherwise, such a big culture, complete culture, from the Bhagavad Gita, any question you can raise, the answer is there. Political, social, religious, philosophical, cultural, any way you study Bhagavad Gita, the complete answer is there. Therefore our request is that let Krishna speak for himself. Don't try to misinterpret the words of Krishna or the words in the Bhagavad Gita. That will spoil it. Just like in the beginning, it is said, Dharma khetre kurukhetre samavita judussava mamaka pandavastaiva kim apurvata sandaya. Now, this Kurukshetra, everyone knows, there is a place, Kurukshetra, from time immemorial, in the Vedic literature, it is mentioned about Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is dharmamachare. Go to Kurukshetra and perform ritualistic ceremonies there. So it is Dharmakhetra. So how you can interpret Kurukshetra as the body? What is the dictionary? And what is the necessity of interpreting like that? There is no necessity. Interpretation is required when the meaning is not clear. But if the meaning is clear, why should you interpret it unnecessarily? That is malinterpretation. And that is going on. Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but somebody says he is fictitious, there was no fight like Kurukshetra, there is no such person as Krishna, and Krishna is a person from the black aborigines, so on, so on. So many interpretations. So what is the benefit? The benefit is that we have lost our Vedic culture. This is the benefit. Therefore our request is, this Krishna consciousness movement is specially meant for this purpose, that do not try to be overlord of Krishna. Don't speak anything manufactured by you on the plea of Krishna speaking. If you want to speak something, good or nonsense, you can speak. Everyone has got the freedom to speak about his philosophy, about his thesis. But why through Krishna? Why through Bhagavad Gita? This is our protest. Let Krishna speak himself as he is, or as he wants. Why should you speak by malinterpretation? And that is the practice now, that everyone can interpret Bhagavad Gita as he likes. then where is the authority of Bhagavad Gita? Can you interpret the law given by the government in your own way? That is not possible. Similarly, if Krishna is accepted actually. Find out this word. Parabrahma param dhama puri pavitram paramam bhavan. Tenth chapter.
Param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyamadidevam ajam vibhum ahastvam rishayas sarve devashir naradastata asito devalo vyasak svayam chaiva bhavishime.
So, yes,
Arjuna said, "You are the supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa proclaim this of you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me."
So, the student of Bhagavad Gita, as Arjuna says, Shishasteham sadhimang prapannam, after hearing Bhagavad Gita in detail, he accepted Krishna as Parabrahma, Paramdhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shasatam Adyam. So one may say that this is a friendly talk. So Arjuna accepted Krishna as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as a friend he accepted. Because Krishna says, Aham madidhi devana, aham sarvasya prabhava, matta sarvang pravartate, iti matya bhajante mana buddha bhava samannita. So, Arjuna accepted it. Yes, you are Parabrahma. Brahma and Parabrahma. We, all living entities, we are also Brahma, but we are not Parabrahma. Parabrahma is Krishna. Ishara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadi Dadi Govinda, Sarvakarana Karana. Iti Chamsa Kala Pungsha, Krishnasu Bhagavan Sayam. These are the verdict of the Vedic literature. Here it is also repeated by Arjuna that not that after hearing you, I accept you as the Supreme Personality of Godhead for a Brahma, but formally Asita, Narada, Vyasa, they also accepted it. The next verse.
Salvame tadritam manye yanmang vadasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva nadanava.
So, I accept all your instruction. What is it again? Read it. Sarvametam nitangamanne. This is actually student of Bhagavad Gita. Not that the portion which I like, I accept, and the portion I do not like, I reject. This is nonsense. If you want to become the student of Bhagavad Gita, if you want to derive some benefit out of it, then you should be like Arjuna, like this. He said, Sarvametam ritangam. Whatever you say, I accept it. Ritang means truth. Not that I am accepting, but previous to me. What is the next line? Sarvametam.
Yanmang vadasi keshava.
Then?
Nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva.
Because your personality cannot be understood even by the demigods. What to speak of ordinary human being. And Krishna has said that avajananti magamura manusim tanuvasita parang bhavamajananda. The mudha, those who deride at Krishna, that is an ordinary human being, such person is condemned herewith as mudha. Mudha means ass. Avajananti maga mudha manusim tanumasata, because he does not know param bhavam, what is the background of Krishna. So similarly, there are many passages. Anyone who does not understand Krishna and at the same time he declares himself as the student of Bhagavad Gita, as a scholar of Bhagavad Gita, he is misleading himself and misleading his followers. That is the verdict of Bhagavad Gita and everyone. Bhagavad Gita has to be understood. In the 4th chapter you find out that imang vivassati yugam praktavan ahamabhyam vivasana manoviprahu vanuikhata vibravit evam parampara praptam imang rajasayo vijit. This is parampara. The truth of Bhagavad Gita was first spoken to the sun God, and he spoke to his son, to Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, and Vaivasvata Manu spoke to his son, Ikhaku, and Krishna said, Evam parampara praptam imang rajarsa. Rajarsa. This philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, it is meant for the Rajarsi, not for the lower class. Rajas, king at the same time, saintly person. Even the Rajas have Krishna does not say that ordinary scholar or so-called philosopher can understand. Only the Rajas have. So Arjuna is one of the Rajas. So he understood Krishna. He says, Parabrahma Paramudhava. So we have to accept this parampara system. If we take Bhagavad Gita seriously, then we should follow the footprints of Arjuna as he understood. He accepted Krishna as the Parabrahma. So what is spoken by Parabrahma, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Person, how we can interpret his words and squeeze out some meaning and mislead myself and mislead others. This is not good. So our this Krishna consciousness movement is trying to rectify this mistake. Bhagavad Gita is the most authorized scripture in the Vedic literature. Vedic literature means it is not spoken by any ordinary human being. Apaurusha means this literature, Vedic literature, is spoken directly by the Supreme Person or Lord. So it was instructed through Brahma, Lord Brahma. Tine Brahmarida Adikavai Janmadasya Jatha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. These are the Vedanta philosophies beginning. The Vedanta philosophy begins with the word Athata Brahma Jigyasa. This human form of life is meant for inquiring about Brahma. The human life is not meant for any other purpose. That is the distinction between a dog's life and a human being's life. A dog cannot inquire about Brahma. That is not possible. But a human being can inquire about Brahma. Therefore, this life is meant for Brahma Jigyasa, about Brahma. So, if we accept these aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra is supposed to be the most authorized the summary, the cream of all the Vedas. So Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedaishta sarvai ahamaiva vedyam. Vedanta vid, Vedanta kitcha aham. So if we accept these words of Krishna, then we become actually Vedanti. Without understanding these things, as spoken in the Bhagavad Gita, is the summarized Vedanta or Vedic philosophy, because in this age, Kali Yuga, we are not very advanced. About us it is described in the Shastra, Munda Sumandamatayo Mundabhagya Upadutta Prayena Alpa Ayusa Kalau Asmin Yugejana. In this age, Kali Yuga, we are living not very long time. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life will be reduced so much gradually that if a person lives for 20 to 30 years, he will be considered a grand old man. That day is coming. Now we have got practical experience. Our grandfather or father lived for so many years, but we are not living for so many years. Our sons will not live so many years. In this way, the duration of life, the memory, the mercifulness, the bodily strength, everything will be reduced. This is already foretold in the Shastras. So, therefore, in this age, we are all short-living, manda, very slow or bad, and sumandamato. Everyone has got a obnoxious opinion about philosophy, about the goal of life. Manda sumandamato and mandabhagya, unfortunate also. The description, if we try to describe, it will take long time. The shortcut description is there. Manda samandamatayo mandabhagya upadrita. At the same time disturbed, always. This material world means always disturbed condition. But in this age, Kali Yuga, the disturbance is more and more. So under these circumstances, it is out of Krishna's kindness that making Arjuna as the target of his instruction, Bhagavad Gita, he has given us this valuable instruction. We should accept it as it is. Therefore, we are presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any malinterpretation. Take Bhagavad Gita as it is, you will be benefited. And so far as Brahma Jigyasa, the Krishna begins with this aphorism of Brahma Jigyasa. When Arjuna submitted to Arjuna, Krishna, that I am your now disciple, there is no need of friendly talks. You can give me instruction seriously because I am surrendered to you and you give me the real instruction. So the first instruction was, as soon as Arjuna submitted, because unless you submit, it is useless to talk, because he will not hear. Therefore, to accept an authority is submission. First thing is, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Unless you submit, if you think yourself that you are a very big scholar, very learned scholar, and very good philosopher, you don't require any instruction from Guru, then there is no possibility. The first thing is, Krishna instructs in the Bhagavad Gita, tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. If you want to know the substance, then the first thing is that you must be submissive. Pranipa. Prakishta rupena nipa. You fall down. Therefore, the system is the disciple falls flat before the spiritual master. That is the etiquette. Pranipathen. If you think that you know better than Krishna or Krishna's representative, the Guru, there is no necessity of accepting Guru. Do not keep a Guru as a pet dog. No, you must be submissive. Tadviddhi panipatena paripasnena sevaya. This is one. That Krishna, that is the example given by Arjuna. Shishastyam sadhimang prapanna. This prapanna is required. So, when Arjuna submitted, then Krishna spoke. The first speaking was that asacyananusūchastang pragyavādāṃ subhāsas. Gatāsum agatāsum ca nanusūchanti pandita. Arjuna, you are talking with me, of course, you are my friend on equal level. You are talking just like a very learned man. You have read in the Bhagavad Gita, he submitted his proposition, how can I kill the other side? They are my brothers and the brothers are dead. My sister-in-laws will be widow and they will be polluted and there will be Varna Sankar. And so these things are facts. But Krishna says that you are simply taking calculation of the body. Body. You have no spiritual calculation. The life is meant for spiritual understanding. Athāta Brahma Jigyāsa. But you have no such understanding, you have no such knowledge, and still you are speaking. Asacyananusūchastang pragyavādāṃ subhāsas. You are talking like a very learned man, but you are, my dear friend, you are not learned. He said in a different way. Agatāsum, gatāsum, agatāsum ca nanusūchanti pandita. Because this body, you are thinking in terms of bodily relationship. But a Pandit, a learned scholar, actually he is learned scholar, when he does not lament for this body, either alive or dead. This is the first mistake. This body is already dead. It is matter, dead matter. But you should try to understand the living spirit within this body. The next verse he says that Dehi nasmin yatha dehi kaumara jovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatana mahiyati. This is knowledge, beginning of knowledge. Try to understand about the soul, the part of Parabrahma, the spark of Parabrahma, the spirit soul, that is within this body. So you are lamenting on this body, but you have no information of the active principle within the body. So, nanusūchanti pandita. So this is not the statement of a pandit. In other way, his friend or a sisha, that this kind of things never happens in the case of a pandita. That means, my dear friend, you are a pandita. You are not pandita. One who does not know about the spirit soul, he is not a pandita. Dhirastatana mahiyati. This transmigration of the soul, just like you condoled one Rotarian who has died. That Krishna says, Dhirastatana mahiyati. Yes, he is not dead. He has transmigrated to another body. He is not dead. That is the na hannate hannavane sarire. This is the instruction of Krishna. That don't think that because the body is annihilated, therefore the person is annihilated. No. Na jayate va amriyate va kadachi. That soul never takes birth, never dies. Nitya sasatayam nahannati hannava. This is the first instruction of Bhagavad Gita. There are so many students of Bhagavad Gita, but because they are not actually Pandita, they do not take account of the simple thing, how the soul transmigrates from one body to another. This is the position. Therefore, we should not continue to remain a Pandita, nanu suchanti Pandita, and lament. So long we are not Pandita, our business is to lament and to hanker. We lament what is lost, and we hanker what is not in our possession. This is material disease. So, when you understand that aham brahmasmi, that hint is given by Krishna, that asmin dehina, the proprietor of the body is there, asmin dehi. On account of presence of the proprietor of the body is changing. Dehi nasmin yatha dehi kaumara jovanam jara. The kaumara, the childhood, the boyhood, the youthhood, these changes of body is taking place on account of presence of the Dehina. So where is this education all over the world? There is no such education. But there is knowledge. This is Bhagavad Gita. We don't take advantage of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore there is no such education, athata brahma jigyasa, or to understand Brahma. So everything is very nicely explained in the Bhagavad Gita, and you have got a nice class. So I request you to discuss on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any malinterpretation. Then it will be beneficial for your class. Because Chanakya Pandit, you have heard the name of Chanakya Pandit. In New Delhi, there is a Chanakya Puri. He was a great politician, very learned scholar, Brahmana, and great moralist also. He has instructed about this Brahma knowledge in various ways. Our point is that we should not spoil this life. We should utilize every moment of our life very properly. This Chanakya Pandit I am referring because he has given very good instruction how to utilize our life. He says, Aisha chanaye kopi nalabha sarna koti bhi sachetinarthakanika kanuha nistatudhika. We are calculating of loss and gain. Chanakya Pandit says that even one moment of our life, if it is lost, then you cannot get it back even by paying hundreds and thousands of dollars. One moment of this day, if it is lost, you cannot get it back by paying hundreds and thousands of dollars. So similar. So if the moments of your life is spent uselessly, then how much loss you are suffering, you just imagine. Therefore, our request is that we have got this valuable life, human form of life, Bahu Sambhavante. After many, many births in the evolutionary process, now we should try to understand what is Brahma, Athata Brahma Jigyasa. Don't spoil it otherwise. And that's Brahma Jigyasa, an answer is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. Bhagavad Gita instruction is given just to bring you back to Brahma consciousness or Krishna consciousness, not this bodily consciousness. Bodily consciousness is there in the dog and the cat. So that is not very glorification. We should come to the Brahma consciousness, then Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, then you will be jubilant. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, Nasochati Nakankati, Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu. And when you come to that platform of understanding Brahma, then there is question of samata, Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu. And on that stage, you can attain the parabhakti or devotional life to the Supreme Personality of God. So that is our propaganda. And we are trying to bring people to that stage of parabhakti. That parabhakti is achievable by the simple method, as Krishna said, Maya Sattamana Partha Yoga Janjan Madasraya Asangsayang Samagrangvan Jathagan. Unless you understand Krishna, why should you surrender unto me? Prabhakti begins when you surrender. Jasyatma buddhi kunapeti dhātate sadhik kalatra disubhoma yujyadhi jattitha buddhi salile nakari saeva gokara. If you keep ourselves on the bodily concept of life, and then we are defeated. This is the verdict of the Shastra. Parabhavastavat abodhajat javanna jigyasata atmatattam. So long you are not inquisitive about your Brahma identification, aham brahmasmi, then whatever you are doing, that is defeat, that is not advancement. So, with these words, I shall request you that in your class you cultivate this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and utilize the time fully and just try to make your life successful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.